Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Android 18 Unlimited Android Assault unit and how good she is after an easy A in DBZ Dokkan battle. Now she is a tech type lead of 100%, greatly raising attack for 1 turn, causing supreme damage to the enemy and raising her defense by 50% for 6 turns. Attack and defense of 180%, changing physical and strength type key spheres to tech key spheres, an additional attack and defense of 30% per key sphere obtained, an additional 50% defense when receiving an attack, a medium chance of critting, and an additional chance of performing a crit of plus 18% per rainbow key sphere obtained up to 50%. She launches an additional attack. There's a high chance of becoming a super attack when there's another Reps Universe 7 category ally attacking in the same turn, and she reduces damage received by 35% when there's another Battle of Wits category character in the same turn. She has Android Assault, Twin Terrors, the Innocence, Battlefield Diva, Infinite Energy, Torrent Power, and Shouting at the Limit as her link skills. Her categories are Androids, Battle of Wits, Bond the Parent and Child, Pepe Gals, Reps Universe 7, Siblings Bond, Superheroes, Tournament Participants, Universal Survival Saga, and Worthy Rivals. With additionals and crit both in her passive, I think overall it's probably best to consider building her with a bit of evasion. She is a more defensive orientated unit. The idea is for her to build up to be a defensive stalwart, so her having a bit of evasion is not amiss. She also doesn't need to be hit really for a lot, even though getting hit obviously gives her that 50% defense. Overall, I would say essentially for her, the best method is to probably give her a combination of additionals and to give her evasion. The reason you want additionals is because a triple super attack from Android 18 dramatically changes how big her defense is, because she can carry her defense over 6 turns. Getting a triple stack here and there really makes her defense quite high. She can range anywhere from 800k in terms of defense to 1.3 million in terms of defense, entirely depending basically like on how many supers she gets. And when you combine that with the fact that she can have pretty much almost guaranteed crits with 30% plus the additional from her passive, she can end up being really good. The issue she has, well, the only real issue she has, is that she is strongly prohibited by requirements. She needs a Battle of Wits character to be in the same turn as her, and she also of course needs to have a she needs to have a Reps Universe 7 character alongside her. Now fortunately that's not too hard to fulfill on her team. Battle of Wits has Golden Frieza and 17, the LR, we have the TEQ Android 17, the Int Piccolo. We have a decent chunk of Battle of Wits characters that you can use with her to fulfill that role, to fulfill that kind of passive for her to make things really work out. So it's not an impossible situation. She definitely can function pretty well. I think ultimately at the end of the day, her restrictions are obviously not necessary, I want to say, but obviously are something that you have to consider. But I don't think it's something that's crippling, considering the limited use of her and the fact that you're probably going to just run her as a pseudo tank for other 17-18 units on the Reps Universe 7 category. Now, all in all, her numbers are pretty good. Like I said, defense, we're looking at anywhere from 800k to 1.2, depending on additionals. She doesn't hit high attack stats, but she can crit on them, which is also very helpful. Being able to have 5 million or 6 million, but do crits on it is important. It does help change the attack stat. Although the attack stat looks low, it's like the same as hitting with just a normal 10 million attack stat, because you've got that crit, which is really good. So, but she's more defensive orientated. It's something that's always the case. In terms of basically everything else, I think overall she's pretty good. Raw defense is good, the damage reduction helps, the fact that you can build her evasion helps, the additional defense on hit helps. I think overall she's pretty solid. She's an orb changer, so you do have to be careful about her being with other units. For example, she takes a lot of orbs from our good friend the Android 17 over here, but I think she's a solid pseudo tank that you can use for the Reps Universe 17. Maybe you don't have some of the tankier options, maybe you're looking for someone else to just kind of run in that tanking slot, then she's really kind of a unit you can consider using. I do think overall, link wise, she has Torment of Power, so you do gain quite a bit there. And that also means that she's not a terrible option if you're catering to the unit's links with your third slot unit. For example, you can use her as a first slot tank, because as long as you're fulfilling the battle wits and you're fulfilling the Reps Universe 7 requirement, then she tends to come out looking pretty good. Innocence, Twin Terrors, Android Assault, obviously are all an infinite energy, all obviously, in that case, very, very crucial to Android 17 units or other Android units, and Android Assault's probably the link that's the most kind of cautious one for you to have, because it's a huge defensive link. So I do understand that it is something that's probably a bit more required than maybe other links, but I think overall she's still pretty good. I think for me, Android 18 represents a good EZA, creating a tankier option for players who maybe don't have a good first slot tank. You don't have an LL Vegeta, you don't have like tankier units for Reps Universe 7, then having Android 18 is not necessarily the worst thing. I think it's really not that bad a decision. So for me overall, I will say I think ultimately not a bad call. And I think her EZA was really good. I think it achieves what it needed to achieve. So I'm really happy with that, and I think overall she's a great unit. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about Android 18, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, stay safe, and let me know what you think. Like, do you find her good? Have you used her? Do you think she's a good pseudo replacement for anyone or helps out your team? But yeah, that's pretty much it from me. I will see you guys in the next ones.